Hello everyone, this is Ian Schaefer here with UDA Technologies, and we are now ready to get started with our sneak peek webinar for ConstructionSuite 8. Of course, as you guys can see from our slideshow that we have going on right now, we've been doing business for a number of years. This is coming up on almost 20 years of business now, where we've collected a user base, including you guys, of somewhere in the neighborhood of 350,000 professionals, there's the number there, across over 75 different countries. And with all of you guys using the system, we're proud to say that we've introduced a lot of great new features, and we're going to take the time to talk to you guys about those today. We're doing the introduction, and we'll start rolling out ConstructionSuite 8 shortly, but diving into it, just want to let you know, again, my name is Ian Schaefer. I'm one of the Senior Product Specialists here, and I actually have my colleague, Holly Gibson, with me. She's another Senior Product Specialist.
Hey, everyone.
And Holly, tell me, really quickly, before you get into answering everybody's questions as they chime in, what are you most excited about for this new version of ConstructionSuite that we're pushing out today?
Oh, goodness, what a fun question. I'm really excited about so many of the things that we'll offer. I can't wait for you to dive into the presentation and really show everyone what we've been able to put together with ConstructionSuite 8. This will actually mark the 10th anniversary of the ConstructionSuite product line coming up in January. So over the last 10 years, we've certainly been able to continue to see the product grow and really offer a number of enhancements. It's so hard to pick a favorite because I know that you have some estimating enhancements that you'll be excited to show off. But I think one of the things that I'm really excited about are some of the integrations that we'll be offering. We've actually introduced some new integrations with tools that I know that some of you guys are already using, things like Google Calendar or OneDrive or Dropbox. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think it really expands some of the functionality that you guys, our users, will be able to get out of the system.
Oh, I agree. And you're definitely hitting the nail on the head with that one too. I'm definitely very excited about some of the estimating features. The new integration partners are also really, really great. We've got some new CAD programs and takeoff tools that we're going to be working with here. I'll kind of touch on those briefly as well. And Holly, before we dive into the actual show, if you don't mind, I'm going to take over at this point. I'm going to let you go. And Holly, by the way, everybody, will be answering your questions as we're going through the webinar. So as you guys chat those questions in, make sure that you keep an eye on that questions panel. She'll be responding to most of them. And occasionally, Holly, hopefully you're able to flag a couple of great questions for me to answer too.
That's exactly right. So the way it will work, you guys, is if you have questions, chat them over. I will chat back to you privately as soon as I can. We've actually had a great response. Several hundred of you I know are signed up for today, so please be patient with me, and I'll also be kind of flagging questions, Ian, that you'll be able to jump in and actually answer for everyone as well.
Great. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it. And with that said, let's go ahead and move the slideshow down for the moment and take a look at some of the features that we have for you guys here to introduce in the new version of ConstructionSuite. So I've got one primary screen here. By all means, guys, let me know if you guys are able to see everything or if you have questions about anything. Again, Holly is going to be fielding those questions as we go. I'm just going to be sharing all the things that I'm super excited about. So with that, we'll go ahead and dive in. So this is it. We've got the new version of ConstructionSuite here. And when you first log into the program, of course, some things are going to seem very familiar to you guys who have been using the system for a long time. We've still got the navigation panel over on the left-hand side. We've got some quick links and some shortcuts over on the right. This wonderful Getting Started screen here in the middle. And with the ConstructionSuite CRM, the main interface here, we've introduced some of our first integration partners right here in the main application. As an example, myself and Holly were talking about some of the integration with programs like Google Drive and OneDrive and Dropbox. Most of these programs are actually going to be accessible right from the Project Files tab in ConstructionSuite. As you create more and more projects and you guys are adding content to your ConstructionSuite system, you can actually pull a lot of the content in from other applications that you're working with just by right-clicking into the project files and importing from those online services. Now again, from here you can see where we're working with companies like Dropbox and Google Drive to allow you easy access to all of your cloud-hosted files to pull them back down into ConstructionSuite, in addition to all the great content that you guys have been pulling in from ConstructionOnline. Hopefully you guys were able to join us for the online sneak peek webinar that we had a few weeks ago, but for those of you who are interested in working with some of these other applications as well, it couldn't be easier. All you need to do as you're working with some of these is, again, pick this or select the program that you're going to be pulling the files from. when you do select the application, it gives you a listing of all the different files that are available and allows you to pull them straight into your projects. Just to give you a rough idea, let's see where I put my Google Drive for the session today. There it is. Yeah, so these are some of the pictures and some of the documents that we're working with. Some of the files might have been shared with me. You have the ability to share with each other through Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever it is. And again, ConstructionSuite is able to pick up on all these applications and pull the files that you're looking for directly into the system, just like so. Pulls in everything that you guys want to work with. And as you start working within ConstructionSuite, you can pull in groups of pictures or documents, drops them right into your projects that you guys are working with, and it couldn't be simpler. Now again, first time you guys are working with these applications, of course ConstructionSuite needs permission to access the program. So for programs like Google Drive, when you first try to integrate with Google Drive, it is going to ask to allow you access to this. Just expect that as it comes up, guys. It's just a simple little allow box that comes up with the website, and as soon as you do that, I think that the session is going to be good for at least 30 days. But anytime you guys want to pull in the content, no matter who sends it to you, it's that easy. Same sort of thing is actually going to happen over in the calendar for ConstructionSuite as well. So if we take a look at the calendars in the ConstructionSuite application, these calendars are going to be available across the entire company. This is your company calendar that you're looking at. And for most of you who have ConstructionSuite and ConstructionOnline, I'm sure you're familiar with some of the syncing options that you have between those applications. If you create the activity here in ConstructionSuite, it automatically shows up on ConstructionOnline. That app, the mobile app's on-site calendar, can actually pick up on those activities as well, and you'd be able to use them through all your mobile apps. Now, of course, this is an excellent feature, but for those of you who are also working with Android devices, like myself, or if you guys use Google's business applications, I've got great news here as well. With any of the activities that you're creating in the ConstructionSuite system, anytime you guys create new content, you can actually right-click on these activities and send them to your Google Calendar as well. So this is going to take care of a lot of the syncing issues that you guys might have had in the past working with old versions of Outlook or anything like this. Now you can click a button, send it directly to the cloud, share it through Google Calendar, and it's one unified calendar there as well, and you'll be able to go onto your Google accounts again through the web and see any of the content that you guys are adding through Google Calendar here. Now, we actually take this a step further as well. You have the ability to share any of your activities and appointments and meetings and things like that. The calendar in ConstructionSuite can send the tasks up to your Google Calendars, and that's great. You've got the ability to share the information out there and set up appointments and everything like that. Big question that's come up over the past, well, few months at least, is how can we take the entire schedule and make it available through Google Calendar as well? And now, with ConstructionSuite 8, we've got a great option for you there as well. So if we take a look at any of the schedules that are available in the ConstructionSuite system, like this beauty right here, you'll see that the scheduling system offers, again, a full Gantt chart scheduling tool. And you've got the ability to link all your tasks together and map out how you expect all of these things to share. And as most of you have hopefully been working with in the past, the file menu gives you the ability to upload it to ConstructionOnline, where, again, you could pick it up and work with it through your ConstructionOnline account or see it through your on-site calendars app. Now you've also got the option to export it to Google Calendars as well. So just like with the activities, when you click the option here to export it to Google Calendar, it actually sends the project up to ConstructionOnline. You'll actually see a new calendar created specifically for this project. And then you get to see how it maps out in Google Calendar as well. So once again, if we go back to the Google Calendar here, refresh the page perhaps, here it is. You can start to see some of the activities showing up here on your Google Calendar as well. And if you go to Google's month view, it actually shows you the entire calendar, and we've got the little calendar over here on the side as well. Now you might have noticed while I was doing the sync itself, or while I was uploading this to Google Calendars, the ConstructionSuite system actually went through and cleared out any of the old schedule data for this particular project before we uploaded the new one. This means that with this integration with Google Calendar, you never have to worry about going to Google Calendar and cleaning up all of the old activities or the tasks or anything like that on your own. ConstructionSuite handles that for you. Now with this, you can go in and take advantage of OnPlan's ability to connect all of your tasks together, to map those time frames, to assign the right resources in the right places. You can take advantage of all of that work that ConstructionSuite is doing for you, but now you have the ability to share it directly through your Google Calendar, or just have it available on your Google Calendar if you happen to like how the Androids calendar apps work. It ties in directly to this, and it's all right here. In addition, by the way, for those of you who are working with calendars or with schedules in ConstructionSuite, you might know that ConstructionSuite now includes some great options for integrating with some of the new features available through Microsoft Office. Most specifically, in this case, PlanSwift, on-site Microsoft Project. That's the word. Too many letters here. Microsoft Project 2016. So if you're working with Project 2016, and I've got my version of it over here on another screen, so many things. Project 2016 gives you a lot of great new features as well. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to take a look at it. But if you're working with Microsoft Project here, you can also take these project schedules, load them into ConstructionSuite, once again through some of your import features here, and that schedule is going to be built into OnPlan, which once again fits directly into your calendars for your company, and everything just kind of links in from there. Once again, since ConstructionSuite is housing all of your resources and all the contacts that you guys are typically working with, once you pull that schedule into ConstructionSuite, you can once again take advantage of some of the great features that you have in resource management in OnPlan. Things like insurance tracking. If you guys have all of the insurance information together for the resources that you're working with, you can connect these guys into your projects and it'll notify you if they have coverage, if they're really the right fit, so on and so forth. So again, as you're going through and you're working with these different tools with Microsoft Project 2016, and you fix the calendars and the schedules in ConstructionSuite, upload them to Google Calendar, and you can have everybody subscribing to those calendars so that they're getting updates in real time as well. Now along those lines, not only do we have the ability to work with some of these great new features with Google Calendars and Google Drive and Microsoft's OneDrive and Dropbox and things like that, the estimating system also gets a few enhancements here as well. Some great new features. Again, these are really the ones that I'm getting excited about in this case because we've started working with some of our CAD and Takeoff partners to introduce updated versions of imports with applications in the estimate like PlanSwift has some new import options for us that we're working with today, and we've got Envisioneer and Envisioneer version 12 that we've decided to pick up and enhance some of the integration with, so great new tools there that you can pull in through the import. eTakeoff has some great new options for us as well, and for those of you who haven't had a chance to see it yet, we've got a new integration partner here in this list as well with Stack, or Stack CT, I believe. So we've started to really enhance some of the CAD integration options and Takeoff integration partners that we have with the system. And again, what we're looking to do here with some of these great integration partners is really take advantage of some of the time that you guys have invested in generating these takeoffs from some of your designs or some of the plans that you guys have gotten your hands on. Allow you to pick from your favorites here in the list, your favorite application to work with, the ones that maybe you guys are most familiar with, or they've got that tool set that you're really a huge fan of. But now we take that time that you invest in that process and use it to build an entirely new estimate for you here in ConstructionSuite, hopefully eliminating any of the duplicate entry or the double entry that you guys might have had to fight with in the past. Now it's all going to be automated for you, and this happens with some of these new partners like Stack CT. So in addition to this, though, we've also enhanced some of the other tools that we already have existing in ConstructionSuite. For example, some of you, especially remodelers that I've worked with in the past in organizations like Remodelers Advantage or Renovantage up in Toronto, we've had a lot of organizations like this ask about estimating by room or by phase for some of the commercial builders and things like that. So back in ConstructionSuite 7, we started to introduce some new room and phase columns, and we've really enhanced how some of these reports work with ConstructionSuite 8, how we handle some of the detail and some of the tools. Most notably, for those of you who are trying to figure out quick summary details for all the work that you guys are putting into the estimate, the rooms, phases, and some enhancement to things like resources and classifications have been added to the estimate summary over on the side panel. So now as you are going through the estimate, you're breaking up all of your costs by room or by phase, not only do you have the great reports that you can generate from ConstructionSuite under the Reporting tab, we've now introduced the summary views as well. So any customers that you're working with who have given you specific targets for rooms or for phases or anything like that that you guys are working with, you've got a summary view over here on the side panel as well. Best part about it is it's also linked. So if you have questions about where the costs are coming from in the summary view, this link allows you shortcuts to hop from one place in the estimate to the next. Wherever you have that room assigned or that phase assigned, it literally just skips you to the next piece so you can always find what you're looking for using the estimate summary shortcuts. So once again, a lot of those kind of great features are going to be available in here. And we've also enhanced some of the existing estimated functions in here as well. So might not have caught your eye yet, but one of my favorite new things here in the estimating system is a new calculation method for assemblies. Now, every 3 months, I believe, every quarter, RS Means sends us updated information, which we release to all of our Total Care members. All of you guys get updated cost books every quarter, and that pricing information is good for everywhere across North America, from what I can remember. It's got a little multiplier available to you guys in the top right corner. You can find a way to adjust the pricing and the detail and everything like that for your region. But one of my favorite parts, or one of the most valuable parts that I've always found with RS Means, are the assemblies that they build into them. Now, an assembly in RS Means and the assemblies that we're working with here in ConstructionSuite are basically going to be pre-packaged subcategories where you can outline the specific quantities that you guys might need for any of your assemblies that you're working with. And the assembly allows you guys to not only define what the quantities are going to be for any of these sections that you guys are working with, but it now gives you a quantity for the assembly up at the top as well. Now, I know this has been a hot topic for some of you guys. Those of you who work with assembly-based estimating or anything like that, now with the assembly method, you can create a subcategory that just has one number, one entry point to work with here. So when you go in and you adjust the quantity for the assembly, it automatically updates all the quantities for the items within. You don't have to build in special formulas. You don't have to reinsert any of your assemblies, either from cost books or the assemblies that you guys are building by hand here. It's just handling all these calculations for you guys, and it's automatically updating. This means that you can really simplify the estimating process. Collapse it down, generate these quantity-based calculations, or have it set up so that you guys can automatically update all of these estimate numbers that you guys are working with. Keep it really quick and easy, and all of the tools that you've been working with in ConstructionSuite for those past 10 years, hopefully, will still calculate using the right combination of quantities from the line items within these assemblies. So if you got to send over a purchase order, or if you're pushing the details over to QuickBooks, all you have to do is move up to the QuickBooks integration section, send your purchase order over, and it figures out, based on the assembly quantities and everything like that, what needs to go. Again, simplifying your process and making your life easier. These are two of the core tenets that we keep to here in construction, at UDA Technologies rather. We always want to keep your life simple and make everything as easy for you guys as possible. So we'll send over these quantities and these costs and everything like that. And for those of you who haven't started working with it yet, you might know that QuickBooks recently released their 2017 version. I think it was about this time last month perhaps, or maybe the year before, month before rather. But as you're working with that, ConstructionSuite now integrates with QuickBooks 2017 as well. So for those of you who have the chance to work with updated versions of QuickBooks, good news is we're going to be sending over all the details, and it's going to be a flawless or a seamless integration there too. If you guys have any questions about that, we do have a number of QuickBooks Pro advisors here on staff, myself included, and we'd be happy to help you guys get set up with newer versions of QuickBooks and to make sure that the integration goes smoothly for you guys as well. So in addition to some of these great estimating features and tools that we have available for you guys, you might notice as we're going through the estimate that it is faster, of course, than last year. This is a primary focus for us. Every year we work on the application, and every time we're able to release a new version of the product, we always want to make sure that we enhance some of your estimating functions for you guys here. We always want to make sure that you have the fastest tools available for reporting and for the integration with QuickBooks, or for scheduling tools and resources. And of course, speed was a major focus for us here as well, which is why navigating through the estimates are a little bit faster and easier here. And for some of you, you might also have the chance to work with some of the new estimating styles, again, rooms and phases, some of the assembly-based tools and things like that if you guys move to the new version of ConstructionSuite. But the last and probably favorite of my estimating tools, I probably use that word a little too much. I think everything has been my favorite so far. But one last big important piece to this as well is actually going to be a new style of estimating that a lot of you have requested in the past. And it's a new style of estimating called, well, we refer to it as our 5-column estimates. So for those of you who have had a chance to work with your own estimating systems in the past, or maybe you guys just have a different way of handling estimating systems, we do too now. With the new 5-column estimates, what we allow you to do is break all of your quantities for, break all of your items into the 5 primary classifications. We have material costs, labor costs, subcontractor costs, equipment costs, and other costs. And with the new 5-column estimates, This is all going to be built in. You'll have your categories and your subcategory structure. However you guys have created that in the past is still going to be available for you here. So as you guys are looking through all of these great tools, you guys will be able to see in the estimating system these primary 5 columns. You've still got all the breakdowns and the summaries and everything like that. It's still going to be available to you. But now as you're going through and you're working with these new estimates, anytime you guys wanted to break out these costs, you can insert or plug in your quantity, and then you can start individually describing the cost or the cost breakdown for each of these items, like plugging in a material cost, plugging in a subcontractor cost. All of it is going to be very simple as you guys move through this. Again, navigation is easy, and it all combines together to give you this one total price per item with breakdowns by classification. Now, of course, all the reporting tools are going to feed into this as well. So if you guys do your classification reports, you can break out all your material costs. As you send it over to QuickBooks, you'll be able to send over just that single line item. You don't have to worry about having 5 or 6 or 10 different items because you wanted to break them out by material items or labor items or anything like that. So for those of you who prefer this style of estimating, you have all of these tools that are going to feed into it. And now, as you guys are building your template, you'd be able to select this or the traditional style of estimating that you've been working with in ConstructionSuite as well. Great news about this new 5-column estimating system as well. You've still got, again, all of your standard or your core features for the on-cost estimating system. You've got the ability to assign your resources here. You've got all of your classification markups and your taxes and everything else that you guys would typically have here. And now whenever you work with cost books like RS Means or your own custom cost books, you also have the ability to take those items which have those individual classified costs in there, and you can plug it in and it feeds into and creates just a single line in your estimate now rather than creating multiple lines. So if you guys have built your own cost book where you have your items with a separated material cost and a labor cost and maybe another cost to go along with it, when you insert it into your estimate here in ConstructionSuite, it creates your single line, it breaks up all of your costs accordingly, and if you update your cost books, it actually updates all of these additional costs in there as well. So that button that hopefully you guys are taking advantage of right now, available under the estimating tab to refresh all your item costs, it takes care of you here as well. So let's actually take a look at one of these for a moment. And if you don't mind, I'm actually going to plug in, let's just say a few different items from our RS Means cost book here. First thing, of course, since it is going to be a new cost book and we've got updated prices for just about everything, I need to assign my multiplier to make sure that those prices are accurate for us here in Auburn, Alabama. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Click OK. Once again, this is going to take us through the process of updating all of our material costs and our labor costs and everything like that to be more accurate for our location. And for those of you working within the system, you might notice that there's a variety of different types of multipliers that you can assign. You could do company locations or project locations. This is actually going to pull in the zip code from either your company location or for the project specific address. You can enter in a zip code by hand, as you saw me do a moment ago, or for those of you working in Canada or sharing projects between ConstructionSuite and Canada, you'll also have the ability to go through and choose your region to apply a Canadian multiplier there as well. You'll see most of these are going to be broken down by provinces and major cities in those provinces and so on. So with this, you guys would be able to go through and kind of organize all of your costs and your details and work with that as well. Now back to the point of inserting these line items into your estimates. So when you take one of these items and you decide to insert that cost, don't forget, for these, you're not going to be inserting an individual material cost or a labor cost. In our case, we're going to be inserting the entire quote, all of the components, all the bits and pieces, and for this we're looking at trim, and it would be 1x1 pine trim, I believe. So when we insert this, you'd be still selecting the quantity that you want to insert. And in this case, when it does bring that in, you'll see a material cost and a labor cost. If in your cost books you guys decide to add in all the additional components to this, if you plug in subcontractor costs as well, or maybe you have specialized equipment for handling, well, for trim install, maybe not, but anything else that you guys might be working with, sure. So if you guys have any of these additional costs, they come in as well. And then from here, rather than having to reinsert the items in each of these additional rows showing up in your estimate, all you need to do is adjust your quantities as they come up, and all of your pricing and your detail and everything like that gets impacted as well. So once again, saving steps is a big piece for you guys here. And for those of you who are a little bit more accustomed to or a little bit more familiar with working with a 5-column estimating system, this does the job. Now again, this is one of the newest estimating styles that we have. So pre-release now for ConstructionSuite 8, you'll notice that it still has a beta tag on it. And in this case, in this instance, we're looking to add in some additional new features here as well. As this becomes more and more finalized, you guys will see some additional options showing up in here. But as it is right now, couldn't be happier. I know so many of you guys in the past have asked about multi-column estimating capabilities, and this scratches that from that list. So this will take care of you guys, and for those of you who want to customize the views a little bit, don't forget, you still have the ability with any of the estimates that you work with in OnCost to rearrange any of the details that you guys want to keep track of. If you personally prefer having your unit column come before your quantity, great. Drag it out over there. If you guys wanted to have your equipment costs and subcontractor costs after the total price for whatever reason, you can certainly do that. These columns, just like any other columns in the estimate, are going to be completely flexible. You can reorganize them as you see fit. You can also turn on or off additional columns if you guys don't use them. If you wanted to keep your estimators away from classifying anything as an other cost, turn it off. Hide that from view so you don't have to worry about it, and that way you guys don't need to dive into any of the particulars for different classifications or costs that you guys may not typically work with. So again, that's going to be most of the details for your estimating system. Now, for those of you who are following along with some of these estimating features, obviously I'm talking about them the most because they're some of the tools that I work with most heavily, and I enjoy these a lot. But you will be able to combine some of these features and functions as well. If you've got a takeoff tool that you're very fond of and you guys wanted to pull in these costs, those costs could be inserted into a 5-column estimator as you like. When you're importing, it'll give you the option to pick which one you guys would like to use. The assembly method still works in here as well. If you guys are working with assemblies and you guys wanted to put together an assembly of components for the 5-column estimating system, great. And don't forget, if you guys do use 5-column estimating in conjunction with your cost books and you save this as part of a template, you can always use that estimating function to refresh your item costs as you get new quotes from your vendors or suppliers as well. So as you guys are, again, building all of this information out, don't forget you can set up new 5-column estimate templates. These templates can use some of the assembly-based detail. You can use some of the new RS means cost book information, and all of this is going to feed into your proposals, your purchase orders, your punch lists, and everything else like that as well. So let's see. These are, again, some of the great new pieces that we're working with here. Don't forget, we also have some of the new SuiteLink features that are going to be tying into ConstructionOnline as well. So if you guys happen to be using some of your online tools in addition to your ConstructionSuite desktop application, don't forget to take those plans that you guys are generating your takeoffs from and load them into your projects. This is a simple drag and drop feature or function, and upload those to ConstructionOnline, where you could then start using our new Redline markup tools. Hopefully you guys have seen those in there as well. Redline gives you the ability to go through and mark up your plans, post any questions or anything like that, so don't forget to take a look at those. You'll also notice that the contacts that you guys are working with in the projects will still be syncing up in real time between the two applications, if of course you have that feature turned on, which means that all the contacts that you're adding into ConstructionSuite can feed up into your ConstructionOnline account, where you could then hand them off to any of your sales reps through the new lead tracking systems on ConstructionOnline as well. Now, at this point, this is actually going to cover most of the features that I have for you today. Of course, Holly will probably come in and correct me to add in a couple of new things if you guys are interested, but some of these key points that I want you guys to take a look at as you are slowly upgrading to ConstructionSuite 8. I say slowly because I already have it. Unfortunately, you guys might not yet, but you should be seeing these become available to you guys over the next coming weeks. But as you guys are upgrading, keep in mind, you guys have great access now to some online services for file sharing like Google Drive and OneDrive and Dropbox. You guys can share a lot of your content between ConstructionSuite's calendar and your Google Calendar as well, to include uploading some of your projects to Google Calendar and sharing them out from there, or having everybody subscribe to that system. You'll also have the ability to integrate some of the new Outlook tools and contacts, some of the new schedules from MS Project. A lot of the 2016 integration is coming into this as well. New estimating partners in here as well, new CAD programs like, again, Envisioneer has some new file formats. Stack is a brand new partner that we're working with. OnCenter is one. I see somebody just mentioning that now. This is another that we work with. And of course, Chief Architect, Revit, eTakeoff, and PlanSwift are some of the partners that I've been personally working with over the past few years to make sure that the integration is seamless. You've got some of these great new estimating features, which I kind of already dragged on a little bit on, but you've got all of this great new information available to you. Don't forget, guys, this is going to be a free upgrade to everybody who has Total Care in place. For those of you who are current Total Care subscribers, this upgrade is going to be showing up for you guys over the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. We'll start these things rolling out to you guys shortly. You guys will actually see this as an in-place upgrade in ConstructionSuite, just like any of the other updates that you guys have had. This is going to be one of the many benefits of your Total Care subscription. You just get a pop-up one day that says ConstructionSuite 8 is now available for download. All you have to do is click a button and the system takes care of the rest. For those of you who don't have Total Care in place right now, if you guys are using an older version of ConstructionSuite, no worries. We actually have some great upgrade options available to you guys. If you're interested in getting onto ConstructionSuite 8, give us a call today. We can go ahead and set you guys up with the best upgrade options available, get you onto a product today that will help you guys take advantage of some of these new features and start learning how some of these things work. You too can take advantage of the automatic upgrade as soon as the program becomes available, and it becomes a wonderful option for you guys as well. For any of the rest of this, as you guys have additional questions, we will be going through those questions still in the questions panel for GoToWebinar. Don't forget, you guys can also give us a call at any time. You can reach us here at the office at 1-800-700-8321. We have a large staff here ready and waiting to receive any of your calls and answer any questions that you guys have on ConstructionSuite 8. And we really, really look forward to offering this and thousands of other great tools for you guys here in the future. Keep an eye out for us, guys. We're always trying to push for great new content for you guys. We want to do our best to make sure that you guys are some of the greatest builders out there at any given time. So hopefully these things will help. And for now, we're going to go ahead and pause and give Holly a moment to catch up on some of these questions. I need to go back and review as well, because I know she already has some of these flagged for me, but what can I say? Too many great things to talk about, not enough time to talk about them. For those of you who have already gotten everything that you guys hope to get out of the webinar today, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, hopefully we'll hear from you guys soon, and we certainly look forward to talking to you guys then. Oh, sorry, a couple of questions that just came in right there at the end. But again, guys, join us for our series of webinars that we'll be picking up again, a standard series, not next week, but the week after. We look forward to having you guys in there for those. And if we don't have a chance to talk to you guys before then, for those of you here in the States, guys, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And thank you so much for your time. Guys, have a great afternoon.